Paris suited old Benjamin perfectly. On one side, he had the river scene when he wanted to swim. On the other side, he had friends when he wanted company. Altogether, Benjamin had such a good time in Paris that he couldn't always be bothered with his old rules for good behavior. Frequently, he ate too much. But rather than worry, he carried a bottle of oil of wormwood for indigestion, and he gained weight. Sometimes he called himself Dr. Fatsides. Occasionally, he went to extremes. If he became interested in a game of chess, he'd stay up all night playing, and he wasn't neat. His desk was a mess. A Scottish visitor once pointed out the danger of leaving important state papers scattered so carelessly over his desk. There might be spies in the household, the Scotsman said. And there really were spies. But the important thing was that Benjamin did what he'd set out to do. He talked France into joining America in the war, and he took good care of America's business in Europe. And when peace came in 1783, he helped to write the peace treaty. When Franklin, 79 years old now, finally returned to Philadelphia, he was given a widely enthusiastic welcome. Cannons were fired, bells rung, parades formed, speeches made. His daughter, Sarah, was so excited that she fell into a wheelbarrow, but the people of Pennsylvania put Franklin right back to work. 3 years in a row, they elected him president of their government, and when Franklin was 82, they asked him to help to write the Constitution of the United States. For 4 months, he attended meetings of the Constitutional Convention. Sometimes he dozed off during a speech. Often he disagreed with what was being done. But in the end, he was satisfied with the Constitution. With so many different opinions, he said this was the best they could do. Now at last, Benjamin Franklin was finished with public life. He did not have long to live, but even when he couldn't get out of bed, he still read and he still wrote. And every afternoon, his 9-year-old granddaughter, Deborah, would come to his bedside and he would hear her spelling lesson for the next day. If she did well, he would give her a spoonful of fruit jelly that he kept beside him. At 11 o'clock on the night of April 17, 1790, Benjamin Franklin died. He was 84 years old, a man who had not only had a big idea of his own, but had played a large part in one of the biggest ideas of his time, the idea of an independent United States.